Some of the things that my clients are looking the most for right now when it comes to data privacy is really figuring out that automation piece of it. So data privacy can be really complex and hard for organizations to have the right technology in place to make sure that they can adhere to what consumers want from protecting their data privacy. And so building in that automation piece to say, okay, someone's opted out of XYZ. So whether it's like you've changed your preferences and you don't want to receive marketing communications anymore, or you've changed your preferences and you flat out don't want your data collected anymore. Organizations need to figure out a way to automate that, and then a way to do it in a manner that makes sense for their organization from a budgetary perspective and from a tech perspective, to make sure that they have the right people in place at their organizations that can carry it out, and that it's not costing them an arm and a leg, and that they've over purchased from a technology perspective. The second thing I would say that I'm hearing a lot of is this battle between departments. So you have a lot of vested interests when you think about data privacy that's more than just the compliance and legal department. So compliance and legal, they're like, we need data privacy. We need data privacy because the regulations are saying we need to do this. If you're operating in Europe or you're operating in Colorado or California, there's regulations based on where you are from a geography standpoint. But the implications on the business are also huge. So when you think about marketing nowadays, marketers have a vested interest in having as much data as they can, having the communications they send to you be personalized, whether that's an email or whether it's an ad that's following you around because you just looked at a pair of shoes. Marketers use data and they need that data. So it's figuring out that right balance of what marketers need, what the business needs to be most effective with its marketing dollars, and what the compliance and regulatory side of the house needs to make sure that you're doing right by what the law says. And then technology comes into play. So anybody that's operating on the tech front of the organization as well needs to take a look at this to say, okay, what does this look like inside of our current ecosystem? How are we going to use technology to make sure that we can carry out what needs to be carried out from the compliance and regulatory perspective and honoring those preferences, and then making that technology talk to the marketing systems so that you're actually doing what you say you're doing. So when someone opts out of receiving communications, that you're actually opting them out of it. So those are the first two things. And then everyone's favorite topic nowadays is how do you make what you're doing with data more automated, more interesting, more algorithmically done, and how do you do it in a compliant manner? So a lot of the clients come to us and they say, okay, well, we want to use AI. And then again, we're at this battle where legal's saying, you got to be really careful with what you're doing because we've got data things that we need to make sure that we're protecting the customers. And then you've got marketing saying, but I want to run as fast as I can and do as much as I can with automation. And you've got your consumer insights team and your analytics teams that are wanting to use the automation and use it to make better decisions for the overall business. So it's really balancing and weighing all those pros and cons from each department, and then coming together and deciding what makes the most sense for the organization.